to another highly questionable work week. What do you like today, Bomani?
That part where I start looking righter and righter with every passing week.
Oh, we must be talking Kirk Cousins. Dale, papi.
What the is wrong with the Seahawks?
Okay, a good question to start the show off with. I think a lot of people are asking that. They've scored only one touchdown. By the way, that's one more touchdown than the Los Angeles Rams have scored since 1994. Still no touchdowns for the Los Angeles Rams since December of 1994. The short answer to this question, though, is that Ndamukong Suh fell on Russell Wilson's ankle last week. When a guy is out there in that sport, we sort of assume that he'll be the same guy. Russell Wilson, without the same ability to move, ceases to be Russell Wilson.
Well, this also happens to be an annual thing for the Seahawks, where Tom Cable's like, look, give me any 5 fat dudes you find anywhere in the world, and I'll make an offensive line out of them. They're normally just like 5 dots at this point of the year. And what do you know? Their offensive line looks like 5 dots. Another thing about Seattle, you have to start questioning the good sense of not having a backup quarterback you could even consider putting in a game, because that is what they have. But how much does this matter right now? I don't know. Why? Because only one person told you that this is the sort of game that the Rams will mess around and win. Because you don't get to be 50-50 without putting up the good part of the 50-50. And Jeff Fisher put up one of his 50-50 wins.
We're really one key drive from really worrying about the Seahawks, because Russell Wilson got the only touchdown drive they have this season at the very end of that last game against the Dolphins. But here's the most damning thing I could say. The offense for the Seahawks has not looked this bad since the quarterbacks were Whitehurst and Tavares Jackson. Eat that.
I think the Rams should give Jeff Fisher a 3-year extension.
Yes,
after that
another
win.
one.
That's
right. A 3-year extension to put on top of the other 3-year extension.
Trust,
sure.
This is the sort of thing they were waiting on to finally tell us that he's going to get some kind of extension. They couldn't do it after last week.
Are you ready to blame your precious Aaron Rodgers for stinking it up against the Vikings?
Okay, Aaron Rodgers is one of the 2 best quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't think there's any arguing against that. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He now leads an offense that stinks. Now, that offense stunk last year, and we said it was because Jordy Nelson was out and everything else. But after being thoroughly outplayed by Sam Bradford in this last game, is it Aaron Rodgers or is it Mike McCarthy? Bad news for Mike McCarthy. If that's in dispute, you're the one that's going to go.
They've got 15 games now. The last 15 games, Aaron Rodgers has not had a 100 quarterback rating. That's a regular season, basically. Blaine Gabbert quarterback ratings over those 15 games. And what you saw last night, though, where he fumbles 3 times, they recovered 2 of them, and there's an interception. Aaron Rodgers usually takes care of the ball better than that, but Bomani told you he liked that Sam Bradford trade, a first rounder. He was one of the few who liked it. Why? That defense is going to do that to a lot of people this year.
Well, I always said that Aaron Rodgers was overrated. He's showing his true colors now, at the beginning of the season. That's all.
Yes, week 2 gloating, baby.
Well, it took a few years and a Super Bowl, but it turned out that was right now after all this time.
That he's overrated?
That's
okay, right. That Super Bowl gets in the way of that, but yeah, he's been overrated the last few games.
Could the Patriots go 4-0 without Brady and Garoppolo?
Okay, Garoppolo was balling in the first half. There's an important caveat. You know what the caveat is. Tell me what the caveat is.
The caveat is that there were the Dolphins.
There we go. That's the whole thing that we had to say there, right? But he looked so good to a point where it makes you wonder if they could put anybody else in there, and the same thing happened. Jacoby Brissett comes in the game after Garoppolo gets hurt. They run the ball a lot, but he's 6 for 9, 92 yards. Not so bad. They got J.J. Watt and Clowney in the next game. I know they are playing at home, but are you betting on Watt and Clowney, or are you betting on Brissett?
Okay, I don't think that they'll go 4-0, but I didn't think that they'd be 2-0. And I didn't think that I'd be wondering while watching Garoppolo throw the ball faster, getting rid of it faster than Tom Brady, that they would go to Arizona and win, or that they would look totally overwhelming before Garoppolo got hurt yesterday, because they were crushing the Dolphins. That game was not close when Garoppolo was healthy, so I would say no to that question, because you realize that we're an injury away from Edelman playing quarterback for that team. I'm not even kidding.
Actually, I kind of would like to see that. I think that would be very entertaining. Some option football.
Belichick is looking forward to that. Why? Because he's saying, I can beat you with Edelman as a defensive back. I can beat you as Edelman as a wide receiver. I'll put a Woodhead replica in the backfield, and I'll do it at quarterback, too, just to show off.
Well, if they need a new quarterback, I know someone who is available, has a couple of neck problems, so he'll be okay.
Oh, yeah.
No. We got to keep this the way it is. You know, Belichick been giving out them lads all worth scholarships and receivers, and now he's got Brissett as the quarterback. This is the most inverted thing in NFL history.
are players on the Redskins' right to complain about Kirk Cousins' performance?
Okay, one of them put his name on it, saying Ricky Jean-Francois, defensive player, said, we don't make any adjustments. It doesn't seem like we make any adjustments. People are sitting on the things that we're doing. And then there was a lot of anonymous grumbling. Let's see if we can spot on this game sort of deciding interception in the end zone. The racial slurs are up by 3. You kind of need to not throw that. Let's see if you can spot who's most upset with Cousins right here. Right there. Like, there's your disgruntled anonymous source. Right there.
Ask that dude if he'd rather play with Peyton Manning right now. Forget your neck jokes. He'd be like, wheel him out here right now. I don't know if he's a source, but I guarantee you he agrees.
Pierre Garcon not happy, and Cousins is doing check down, check down, check down, and the thing that he's always done, which is throw interceptions at the wrong time. That is terrible right there, that throw. I'm just saying, it is amazing how these things become so much clearer when the standard is no longer be better than what we say about the other guy. Because Kirk Cousins is who he has been. There was a really good stretch last year that was kind of Nick Folesian, where if you watched it, you saw the dude wasn't that good in spite of the numbers. Now they're asking him to do more things. They're also not putting him in some of the best situations. But what you're seeing is a quarterback who simply isn't that good.
Well, you know, if Kirk Cousins doesn't play well during the season, you know who's going to be available at the end of the season? RG3.
You can bring him back. Yeah, that's true. I thought we were going to get another Peyton Manning joke there. He went off the board.
Jay Gruden will be playing quarterback for them next year before Robert Griffin is.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Got him.
Yeah.
And it is big boy the ball game long.
Oh, quick. That doesn't feel
And that's
so
the worst
good.
part, too. All we can see about you is your name.
That's it. He's wishing for those uniforms that don't have the name on the back of the jersey.
I wish I'd gone to Notre Dame.
We're all looking at the back of the jersey.
My Son's TV show is brought to you by Exxon and Mobil. Refuel with new Synergy gasoline from Exxon and Mobil. Energy live here. It is Monday. Time for more football.
Woo!
Is Michael Vick right that Lamar Jackson is 5 times better than what he was in college?
All right, Michael Vick, he spends time on Twitter. This is what he said. Because Lamar Jackson, you know, Florida State got demolished by Louisville. He says 5 times better than what he was at Virginia Tech. And that's really, really nice of Michael Vick. And look, here's Lamar Jackson. I mean, he can do incredible things. Look at this.
Yeah, this is insane. Him in the open field is crazy.
I mean, and that's perhaps the most talented defense in America that's been doing that too.
You don't do that to FSU's athletes.
And as incredible as that is, I feel uncomfortable being old enough to be back in my day guy, and I looked it up, and this game was played about 16 years ago. But if you saw that Michael Vick Florida State game, you don't look at that and think Michael Vick is that much better. You think, man, what if Michael Vick got to play in these newfangled offenses? Lamar Jackson might be the Heisman winner, but being Michael Vick, nah, man.
It's the only other time, though, that I've seen any one person do that to what I know to be a good FSU team talent-wise. Michael Vick is the only guy I've ever seen out-athlete everyone on an FSU defense, and this is the only guy to do it since. He's now got 18 touchdowns. That's more than 114 of the teams playing college football.
Well, Vic, he lost to Florida State, and Lamar Jackson won. So there you have it. Lamar Jackson is much better.
There you have it.
Oh. Could Ohio State be rebuilding and still be the best team in the country?
All right, now, Ohio State rebuilding, it's kind of tricky to think about it that way because, yes, they lost a lot of players. They also have a quarterback who, as a freshman, finished 4th in the Heisman balloting, and now he's a junior. But they beat Oklahoma's doors off on Saturday night, 45-24, and it's something that 45-24, and it's something that has not happened for a very long time at Ohio State. This is new to the Urban Meyer era. They look so fast. The level of explosion that team has makes you look at them and say, I don't know if they're the best team in the country, but it was hard to imagine anybody being better while you watch what they did to OU.
But you also have to say they're rebuilding when you consider they had an enormous exodus, all of those players going to the draft. They can just rebuild better than you can because they can get all those players. I will say this as a little bit of break tapping. Oklahoma is a total fraud, okay? They've been a fraud for I don't know how many years. Every time I'm watching Oklahoma, I'm like, I think they're going to be good, and then they're not good. I do not believe in Oklahoma. The single worst loss I saw last year was Oklahoma losing to Texas. I'm not doing measurements against Oklahoma.
How about that catch?
Yes.
Looks in the end zone in the corner.
Got him.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
And it is big boy the ball game long.
Oh, quick. Oh, quick. That doesn't feel
And that's
so
the worst
good.
part, too. All we
Yeah.
can see about you is your name.
That's it. He's wishing for those uniforms that don't have the name on the back of the jersey.
I wish
'cause
I'd
we're
gone
all-
to Notre Dame.
We're all looking at the back of the jersey.
How bad is North Dakota State?
Oh, put it up here. The game-winning kick at the end. They beat a big school. This is what they've been doing since 2009. They beat Iowa here at the very end. They're 6-0 against teams that are bigger and badder than they are, and they ought to be in the top 25 and would be in the top 25 if we knew anything about North Dakota State. Instead, they're getting a lot of votes, and if they win one more game, they're going to be in the top 25.
Now, of course, they couldn't withstand like one of these actual real-life schedules, but here's the thing. Since 2010, they are 5-0 against Power 5 schools. Kansas, in the same span of time, 4-52. Now, to be fair, North Dakota State's record in that span is a little bit inflated because they got to pay Kansas, and of course they did, in fact, beat them. But this is very impressive what they are doing.
You guys are so full of You don't know anything about North Dakota State.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, see, I just did that where I called Oklahoma a fraud. I can't name a single player on their team, not one.
I knew something about them, but Carson Wentz doesn't play there anymore. Like, I found out about it, and it was too late.
Did Clemson do the right thing by agreeing to shorten the second half against South Carolina State?
Yeah, South Carolina State's in that unfortunate situation where they got to send the football team out to take beat downs in order to balance the budget, right? This is their third game where they had to do that. And before the game with Clemson, they agreed the second half would have 12-minute quarters instead of 15-minute quarters. Look, that game isn't there to be a competition. That game is there so that Clemson can open those gates and make all that money from having a football game. There's no need to make that second half longer and give those kids a chance to get hurt before their conference seasons just in the name of making this money.
It all does feel wrong, though, the idea of taking money. Keep in mind, this game ended up 59-0. It was 45-0 at the half. They shortened it because, obviously, bigger, stronger people were beating up on smaller, less fast people and doing it simply for money. There is never in college football this kind of overt business transaction, this overt, that feels wrong because one of the sides is literally getting trampled.
My townhouse in Miami. I want yellow carpet. Wake up in the morning. It. Bought up a yellow Aston Martin. Yellow bricks, yellow dust, yellow ring, yellow toss, yellow pills, spinning wheels, yellow wheat. Red up. Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that every day thanks its Lord that has all his hair. Do you question?
What you looking at, Pops? Give us topics and events. Let's go to the next part, man.
Do you question if there are any flaws in the new Viking Stadium design?
Yeah, man, they got fancy stuff at U.S. Bank Stadium. They got a roof that you can see through, so it's like you're under the stars, except you don't have to be under the stars, because in Minnesota, if you did that, you might die. Anyway, Adrian Peterson, as you may have heard, suffered a pretty severe injury, and here they are bringing him off the field. And that's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because they say from the restaurant that you can see things like the players go by, and sometimes you have to see the whole franchise.
The whole season is going by there. Here's what I love. Look at all those people in the background. Let's take one more look at that. Look at all those people near the prime rib who say, hold on a second, honey. I want a photograph of our season getting dragged to the locker room over there.
Hold on, that's not all we got here. We got that guy right there who needs to spend less on tickets and more on jerseys because he still has on a Brett Favre number 4. He was only good for 1 year. How are you still wearing that to game?
You know, I had to be carried out of a restaurant this weekend. That's right.
And my mom and me taking him out of the Chinese buffet. It looked a little bit like that.
Do you question if this is a good fan or a bad fan?
Oh, let's rain down judgment on this person's fandom. What do we have here?
He put it on the internet so we could do that.
Georgia, Missouri. Georgia scores to take the lead.
Whoa!
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Are you out of here? Okay. Not even stop. I have never felt that much joy for anything I've ever experienced.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I hope his landlord is a highly questionable viewer.
Well, he was very happy there, but he didn't look that happy later on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, that'll.
Ow! Number one, no.
Time to play the game that every day, thanks the Lord, he managed to keep his weight under control. See? Or no?
What the hell are you laughing at?
You could have said something about your not so full head of hair. You tell us what to watch on TV. We'll tell you if we're intrigued or
All
not.
of you go to hell.
On ESPN, Monday Night Football, Eagles and Bears.
Don't care. And let's watch the cameraman in the corner. This is his first touchdown. First touchdown pass as a professional. Keep an eye on the cameraman.
Oh.
On the cameraman.
Oh. Caught that L.
Yeah. I'm sorry, cameraman. Whoa. They're right there. Everybody's in danger around Matthews there. He's hurling things. Oh, did they throw a flag for that? Can't celebrate with others. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Hey, where Carson Wentz learned that from? They have like a course at North Dakota State on that one, or is he quickly acclimated to the ways of the DAP once he got to the NFL? He might be a natural, like Roger Goodell.
I feel like North Dakota has less DAP per square foot than any place in the union. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. I tell you one thing, you gotta give a lot of credit to that cameraman. He saw that play coming, and he stood there with the equipment and everything, right there where the action was. He didn't chicken out or spread to the other side. He stood there, he took it like a man, and he got every bit of that play on that camera.
Great job. Way to go. Has anybody seen this picture he got?
On Comcast Chicago, Reds and Cubs.
Oh, we've got people going around in disguises. I'm not interested in this game, but put up there Wes Welker tailgating this weekend. This is Wes Welker. He's got a hideous and scary Tom Brady mask, but these guys don't know that it's Wes Welker under there. So when he reveals that it's Wes Welker, they're very excited and they pick him up. And Wes Welker's very small. They can do that to him. Theo Epstein is going to be in a disguise every year, he says, after the Cubs clinch, like he was in a disguise after they clinched the other day.
It was a good time. The baseball ops staff we made a deal that if we won the division, we'd watch the next game out from the bleachers, and made kind of a half attempt to stay incognito, but it was fun. It's a blast out there. The fans are awesome. Great vantage point, Wrigley Field. What more could you want? So.
The Bobby Valentine Ensemble. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Boy, it's a whole new world. That dude has gotten famous because of his association with professional athletics.
Not just that, he's a winner with the Cubs and with
hero.
the Red Sox. Unbelievable. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Theo, you better have all your fun you want now, because I know what is going to happen during the playoff.
Oh.
Probably, that's right. Probably in the first series, they're going to bounce your off the playoff, I'm telling you, so you better enjoy while you can, You're going to sell a lot of tickets, maybe sell the fans for next year too,
Wow, he might need that mustache to get out of the stadium if it goes the way that he's saying.
I mean, he's also probably right. We're not new to this.
I'm going to do my impersonation of Michael Wilbon during the playoff. Oh, not again.
He's crying or laughing?
Or dying.
Squealing.
On ABC, Dancing with the Stars.
No, but we've got the world's lamest protest right here. These guys went and had a marketing meeting. They got together and they're like, okay, what do we need to do? We need to boycott Ryan Lochte. I got some T-shirts. What else I got? Nope, just some T-shirts. I'm just going to come out here and they're going to take me off. I don't really have a plan. Security is hyper aggressive. There it is. And that is the end of the world's lamest protest. All it had was T-shirts. It didn't have an idea. It didn't have any momentum. It didn't have any plan. It was just, I'm going to put on a T-shirt and then handcuffs. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I'll tell you this, though, as ridiculous as the protest was, you'll notice in the video that protester number 2 got a much fairer deal from security than protester number 1. Look what happens here to protester number 1. Like, once he's wrapped him up, he's playing through the whistle. Bow, got you on the ground. Now, protester number 2, he's right up close.
Right. Yeah,
it goes different.
He's harder to tackle, though, too.
That guy showed up to work today hoping somebody would do something like that. The other was like, look, man, I'm just trying to go home. Come on over here.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, worse. At least that protester was wearing a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Allison, they're looking to attack from deep here.
Oh, is this that nude protester?
Yeah.
Yes. This is just an excuse for us to throw the emblem up there. That's always funny. In on the tackle. Oh, that's unpleasant for everybody involved.
Oh, man. They gave him that work.
Yeah. There is
That's
nothing.
an Indiana Pacers spirit toward all-court security that I approve of.
Is he wearing dress socks, by the way? There he goes, ladies and gentlemen, with his brown dress socks.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
That is a suggestive-looking banana.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on, man. Come on.